Well, I can't tell you how much I've been looking forward to this because you and I got a finally got a chance to do a book together, and you were amazing. I hope you're happy with your book, Renee.
I'm very happy with the book. I think I tortured you a lot during the process of getting it done.
Well, you torture me under normal conditions, so no worries.
Oh,
Rene Caruso, everybody, she's a nutrition expert. She's helped people all over the world feel better. She's helping them. We don't have any data points on this yet, but the idea is that they would be living longer. And it's all done through nutrition and special kinds of movement. She is not helping them per se with exercise. In fact, what's your big saying? You can't exercise your way out of a bad diet.
yeah,
I love
yeah.
that. So she goes to
I,
work on
I'm not
food.
sure that it's my original saying. I just know that I've heard it, and it's absolutely true. You can't.
It's a great
So
soundbite.
everything at the root cause tends to start with nutrition.
Yeah, yeah. Her Facebook group is Eat, Evolve, Inspire, everybody. Uh, and her website is reneecaruso.life. I wanted to talk, Renee, about the book process, how it was for you. You have a very unique perspective being married to a book coach. And after a couple of years of listening to me rave about other people's success stories, and by the way, I think everybody has a book in them,
Mm.
and you know that about me. So when I said to you many years ago, you should write a book, how did that land with you?
I said I was too busy.
It didn't land at all, man. It went,
I know.
but honestly, this is a very common response. I'm used to people saying it. And then I was thrilled when you said yes, it's time, and it came together quickly because your content is there. I mean, you're helping people all the time. You have success stories. You have several personal stories, what we call in the business signature stories that are inspirational, and I think one or two of those made it into the book.
Mhm.
This is the book, everybody. It's called Thrive in Five. The full title, Thrive in Five Steps to Your Healthiest Life. And you can order it at Renee's website, again, reneecaruso.life. The process itself was painful for you. Why do you mentioned the word torture, which as soon as you say torture, if we were playing word association, I would say painful. It wasn't painful for me. I mean, once we figured out the flow and you started to understand that every time we did a rewrite, the content would get better. But why was the process harder for you than you thought it would be? Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, because as you pointed out it multiple times throughout the book, you don't, the way I speak and the way I talk with clients, and even the way I'm preparing for a keynote, the language I use and the way I talk is different than it needs to come across in the book.
Yeah,
So while I still want my personality in the book, I have to modify how I say what it is I'm trying to say.
yeah,
They sometimes can just be too flowery, right? And I don't say like right in the book. So there are things like
right.
that that I'm used to speaking and interacting in a very specific way. And I wanted the book to have some of my personality in it. And each time we went through that, I think one of the challenges I had is you're an incredible speaker and you're an incredible writer. You're very good at being able to encapsulate what it is you're trying to get across to somebody. And through this process, I felt that in a writing context, I wasn't that good. So I think to some degree, for me, not that you're intimidating, it felt like I felt a little intimidated
I
by that.
remember, I appreciate the compliment. I remember taking trumpet lessons from a guy who was retired. I was in high school at the time, like a junior in high school. And Irv Sarin, he went by Irv, his name was Irving. Irv Sarin, Sarin, I think that's the spelling, was the retired principal trumpet for the Philadelphia Philharmonic. And I remember, because of the way the trumpet lessons worked, I would fluff through it and he would say, no, try it this way. And he would play it perfectly, and then I would fluff it again. And he'd play it perfectly again.
Yeah.
And I remember being angry with him that he knew more about the trumpet than I did. This is, I think, one of the challenges we have with working with coaches. Everybody, me too. God knows I've hired my share of coaches and trumpet teachers. Once you realize, well, this person's just trying to help me. He's not showing
Yeah.
off. He's not better. He doesn't think he's better than me. But the ego, man, is a powerful little voice that just keeps whispering in your ear, right?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I thought
And
you did.
so that came up, and I think that made it a little more challenging for me.
Yeah.
But we got through it, and that whole process, I think, was also a very good exercise for us, and me learning to appreciate even more about what you do when you shepherd your clients to their final product, which I know they're
Yeah.
very, very proud of.
That's an interesting
And
observation.
I was grateful when it was done. It was like, oh, thank God, you know. And then you keep reminding me about, well, this is what's next, and this is what's next, and this is what we got to do. And it's like, yeah, but I'm done. Can't I just be done? And at the same time, of course, wrote a book. So now the thing is, we need to sell the book. We need to get it in people's hands, trying to get some ideas across that could perhaps change the course of where they are in their health and their well-being. So of course I want to get it in their hands. And it was very rewarding to have someone say to me, "Oh, so you're an author now." And coming from outside of us, that was like, oh my gosh, I guess so. I am.
Oh, this is what it feels like.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
know you didn't write it to get that I'm an author feeling. You
No.
wrote it to help people. The
Yeah.
book was I think you view the book as a vehicle, and it really is well done. There's only 5 chapters. It's a short book, but there is no fat on this bone. If I can use a food analogy for your nutrition book, you
Yeah.
get right to it. There are real practical, actionable strategies in here. They're much more than tips because to me, a tip is kind of a flight in the hallway. You're passing somebody in the hallway, don't take wooden nickels, you
Right.
know, don't talk to strangers. That's a tip. But you
Right.
tell them not only what to do, but you tell them why they should do it so they understand why. And then because like most people, if I understand why I'm doing it, I'm more likely to follow through. I'm more likely to cultivate that habit. And I think your book does that. I gave up counting. I think probably 3 dozen times. Three
Okay.
dozen actionable. It's beautiful. The chapters: nutrition, sleep, movement, consistency, which kind of ties it all together. And then the fact that you're available for coaching to help people in a client services. I want to talk about that in a second. Um, We were, as I recall, Renee, this was a little while ago, a few months ago, we were behind schedule on the writing. Can you remember how long it took you to write a book?
I think I tried to block that out.
I know it's a 10-week program when I teach it to normal
Yeah.
people, but you are
Yes.
not a normal person. I think it was longer, but
I
it
think it
wasn't
was
much
longer
longer.
because we also tried to schedule it in between when you're seeing clients and when I'm seeing clients.
Yeah. And we didn't have
Um,
regular, with my clients as a book shepherd, and my program, Write Your Book is the name of it. We schedule out the sessions in Zoom, Monday, Wednesday, Tuesday,
right.
Thursday. We didn't do that
Right.
with you. We caught it when we caught it.
Right.
As I recall, it took longer than 10 weeks, but not much. Uh, and our sessions were shorter than, regular client sessions. But I just wanted people to have kind of a general idea about how, because it wasn't really a long time to put it together. And a lot of people are writing books
No.
with AI these days. We did not use any AI. I don't believe in it. I don't think you can
Well,
tell
we
personal
didn't use
stories.
AI to write. I definitely used AI was one of the pieces I used to do some fact checking
You
because
think?
while I'm not a doctor or a licensed medical practitioner.
Right,
So the advice that I'm giving is based on my own personal experiences, what I teach, and the outcomes that my clients have reached through
right,
using these and more in-depth steps. But there's still a huge importance when you're putting out, I feel, or responsibility with a book like this and making sure that I'm giving them actual factual data. I don't want to say to somebody that if you just clean up your nutrition, you will live longer. There is no proof of that.
right.
We have no clinical data. But can it improve the quality of your days? Absolutely.
Yeah. And it
100%.
might help you live longer.
It might, but there is no clinical proof.
Yeah, okay. I'm still rooting for longevity when I follow
Me
your
too.
advice. Um, Tell me a bit more about the feeling when you took delivery on the book that you mentioned it earlier. Oh, I guess I'm an author, but it was an external, it was a third party that said to you you're an author. Or I think what
It
happened too
was
is you
at the
posted it
gym.
on Facebook that it was coming out and people started to give it to you that way in posts. We know that Facebook is a dopamine factory, so you were already getting the good feeling and congratulations from them there. Um, and you also have done a book signing since then, yes?
Yes.
And
And
you have more coming
one
up.
of my workout buddies at the gym said something to me on a day when I went in, about, oh, our author is
Yeah.
here. And it
And
was like,
because
oh
you
my
have a
God.
payment paywall on your website where you're selling the book, people are using their credit card to put money in your bank account. How did that feel when you got up in the morning one day? Because I was here. It's happened many, many days. You're still selling it pretty briskly. How did that feel when you get up and you said somebody bought a book? Somebody bought two books.
Well, I think I'm like anybody who it's wonderful to be rewarded for um, doing something you love and helping people, and those rewards come back in a variety of ways. I mean, monetarily is definitely one component of it.
Right?
The fact that you and I know so many people, and those people know people who saw value in what this book could be for them, either because they know us, because they followed us, because they've seen the lifestyle that you and I lead, um, that this meant something to them. So it's even more rewarding.
Well, yeah, but if you're helping friends or people that you know, here's
Yeah.
another kind of reward you really haven't felt yet. I know that you're going to sell the book you've got some speaking events now. It's a funny thing.
Mhm.
People want to listen to experts. And one of the ways they listen to experts is they go see them at events. And you're going to speak to 450 people, I know, in a week in Seattle. And those people are going to queue up. I know this from experience. I'm not just fluffing you here. People are going to come up after the program because the person that introduces you say she's an author, and then you're going to maybe obliquely reference, probably not sell it from the stage, but just say, oh, and in the book I wrote such and such. Then they're going to come up afterward. They're going to queue up to have you sign their book, and they're going to give you cash or give you their credit card again, and they're going to be lined up for the privilege of this. You haven't experienced that yet. I can tell you that's a kick. Talking
Yeah.
to those people and seeing the light in their eyes because they're about to start taking better care of themselves because you talk to them in some way. That's beautiful.
Yeah. That's
It's coming.
I'm
Uh,
excited. I'm excited. I'm excited if this book helps me reach more people
mhm.
and they can just make a couple of changes,
Yeah.
just implement a few things that does improve the quality of their days, that is so exciting, enriching, fulfilling. I mean, that's really what I want the book to do. And that's why it's not you and I talked about that. That's why this is not a big, gigantic tome. I didn't want that. I didn't want somebody to have to pick up this big book and read through all this stuff and look everything up to go, how do I improve the way I want to feel?
Yeah, I mean, look at the book is not that big, everybody. It's not that
No, it's
thick.
a
So
booklet.
I've bought books where they were so big, I never read them. And lots of people buy books and never read them. If you buy this
Yeah.
book and don't read it, you just don't care about yourself. It can't be because you didn't have time, and it can't be because you can't read because it's in plain talk here,
Yeah.
not fancy. It's not medical terminology. You help people in four ways now that you have a book. The first way is the book. The second way that you help them is through personal coaching. You have clients that reach out to you either now because they've read the book or they heard about you or they're in your Facebook group, Eat, Evolve, Inspire, and they need help. Many of them need help desperately. They're in dire straits. They're not calling because they can't fit into their pants anymore. They're calling
Right.
because they can't go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Some of them.
Yeah. Or sometimes they can't get out of bed or they don't want to get out of bed,
And you
or
help
their bodies
and you help all of
hurt.
them to some degree by helping them sort out their nutrition.
So nutrition is the underlayment or one of the very foundations of just about everything we're trying to impact in your body, from sleep, hormones, well-being, dopamine. So it's one of the most important areas that we start with.
Excellent. So the book is helping people. Your personal one-on-one coaching is helping people. You you also do work in the retail environment where you're helping working with clinics, like helping them roll out HRT platforms and helping people with their not diet plans per se, not meal plans per se. But
Right.
when I say in the retail environment, you've worked with I think you worked with a clinic on the west side of Michigan. You're talking with another gentleman here that's going to hook you up with 21 clinics around town. You're not a doctor, but it turns out doctors don't get much education in nutrition, and they refer
No.
to you.
Yeah. Or,
That's
or or even
amazing.
metabolic health. So it's very exciting. And fitness facilities is another area where I'm starting to delve into more, not just gyms, but gyms that are actually looking to move the needle for clients a little bit further, which is very exciting. But the more people I can reach and outside of one-on-one, it in order to grow and help more people, being able to work through some clinics, whether it's a weight loss clinic or a hormone clinic or an IV center or a med spa, there's more opportunity there and there's more people that are looking for improving their well-being inside and out.
Excellent. Well, I'm so proud of you. I'm very excited about how your book will be received by 450 people in Seattle. That's amazing. Rene Caruso Life, everybody, is the website. It's also a page there where you can shop for the book and other things. You can talk to Renee about doing some coaching for you. She's coached people all over the world. You don't have to live in southeastern Michigan to take advantage of her services. You just jump on Zoom and she'll get you sorted. Renee, congratulations again. You are an author.
Oh, thank you, baby. I appreciate you getting me there.
I was going to put on cologne today, but I don't think our Wi-Fi connection is good enough to actually. No, okay. I'll see you in a minute when I walk 50 feet towards you in the kitchen.
Okie dokie.